second game as captain of Ireland in the T20 format. Short, and Leopold looks to come for his quick single. Has to have pitched outside leg, you'd imagine, when it was that short ball there, Kim. Lifts it over the head of Shabnam Ismail, takes on the spinner straight away, and that's the first boundary of the day to Gabby Lewis. Pure class.
I think that's the fantastic thing about Gabby. We touched on it in the last game. She really just takes the game on from the start and is absolutely fearless.
And that one's even better. Bowled it fuller this time, Laba. It's another 4. It's a repeat of the task, so it didn't really come off for South Africa. Paul dances down, changes the length, clips it off the legs. Classy shot. 4 runs in front of square. Man, the other fielder, out inside this first 6. Slower ball and whacked over mid-wicket from Paul. She saw that one coming and she picked her spot and sent that. Big appeal and given out. Leopold caught on the pad. I think she's slightly unlucky there, Leopold. Looked to be possibly pitching outside leg stump, but Jareth McCready has raised the finger. He didn't have too much of a doubt there. Paul just looked like she was getting into her innings. She's been dismissed by Shabnam Ismail. Goes for 9 from 15.
Ireland now 19 for 1 in the 4th over.
Mary Waldron will come out at number 3. She looked in good touch when she batted the other day. Came out probably later than she had expected. So slightly different since that last edition. Slower ball. Gabby Lewis picks her spot. Doesn't even run. Sent that miles over towards the 10th.
Bowling much fuller so far in this second game.
That's been pumped away from Gabby Lewis through wide mid-on. Wasn't overly short, but she's
looking to be positive.
That was more out of the screws, but picks out long off, and Shabnam Ismail not the fielder you wanted to be taking on in that occasion. And Mlaba gets the big fish, gets Lewis for 31. Ireland are 48 for 2, and that little bit of pressure was building. Lewis continuing to try and access over extra cover. Hit this pretty well, but unfortunately picked out the fielder at long off.
Ireland now 48 for the last.
See it there, just slicing it somewhat, which takes the power away. And again, down to the very safe hands of Ismail. So
as well, but instead of getting fixated on what you're not so good at, maybe just really nailing what you are good at.
Well, and that's up to the coaching staff. Oh, that looked a good ball. Whether Kavanagh played down the wrong line, we're not so sure. We'll probably get a chance to look at that again. But she's gone. It's 64 for 3 now. First ball of the 13th.
With the score on 64, Ireland lose their.
But de Klerk was the standout performer in the first game. This was through. Just played down the wrong line there, really. Didn't really get forward there, Kim, did she?
No, just looked a bit unsure in what shot she was trying to play. I think Lou got caught between, coming forward and going back and got a bit stuck on the crease. But nice. De Klerk still bowling with a bit of shape here.
Sekakune bowling well here. Mid off his back. Shabnam Ismail runs in, almost runs underneath it, but manages to hold on. And looks like she took that a little bit awkwardly, but it's the end of Arlene Kelly. The fielder was back. She looked to still try and take them on, and a wicket for Sekakune.
Yeah, an odd one, this one from Ismail. Seemed to charge in, and it almost overran it. And I think she was very happy in the end that she's ended up clinging on. Arlene Kelly couldn't quite get the momentum through her innings, and the bat turning in the hand there. As you can see from Ismail, just running in, charging in, and then looking like she almost lost it, potentially in the sun or the background, but she ends up taking it through the offside here.
Hits it straight to mid-wicket. Well, Not the end she would have wanted. Mary Waldron looked to be inventive. Came down the track, but Annika Bosch saw her coming, dropped the length, and Waldron just patting it into the waiting hands of mid-wicket.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that, Mary, because it was a ball that could have gone. She just didn't quite get the timing and the elevation required. But McMahon and Delaney will have to overcome here. McMahon tries to power this one down the ground, but ends up just chipping it back to Sekikune, who takes her second catch in as many overs, this time off her own bowling. And this Irish innings just not getting any type of momentum. McMahon departs for 4, Ireland 85 for 6. Halfway through the 18th over. Sekikune, who's been very clever with her changes in pace, takes her second.
With the score on 85. We're in the 18th over.
It's chalk and cheese this. Delaney takes it on, lifts it over mid-on, and a very welcome boundary from the Marion woman.
Boundary away, suddenly you're 12 from 8. Comes a very good knock pretty quickly. She's unfortunate there, she's ended up picking out mid-wicket. Sekikune, who's taken another catch in there, that's her third in 3 overs. Nadine de Klerk gets Delaney, but a good little innings actually from Delaney to get 12 from 9.
Yeah, it was the right shot. She just tried to get it up a little bit too much. I think if she'd actually swept it, Delaney, she would have been more successful.
Perhaps made it. Certainly would have gotten very close. Goes short and Rack plays a lovely shot down towards third man. It's gone away for 4. A misfield down there. A great shot from Celeste.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of fast bowler's ego. Georgina Dempsey's going to take on the wicketkeeper, and Rack is in a race with the ball. So bye to close out the 20th over. Ireland at a below par total of 106 for 7 from their 20 overs. So while that was an odd and perhaps not optimal over from South Africa to finish, it's been a really good bowling innings from them.
Definitely, they'll be an awful lot happier with where the bowling was. Fielding probably could still do with a little bit of work from their high standards, but some really good bowling efforts, and they've kept Ireland to 106 for 7. You'd have to think that's below par, based off the genuine good nature of this pitch here in Pembroke. Having a look at for Rack, bowling to the left-handed Goodall, and she'll be delighted to have lasted more than that first delivery.
Maybe for Goodall.
And she's absolutely smashed one straight. It's gone all the way. And that's a fantastic step. Now slog swept away, and there's been a mistake in the outfield. Allows that go. Brits uses her feet and smashes this one down the ground. A couple of bounces and into the boundary hoardings. Just over, having been a wicket maiden on Friday. I don't think it physically can go better than that. And that's another lovely shot from Tasman Brits down the ground, showing her power with bat in hand.
And again, probably that's where she should be. For anything that drifts just
with your planning, and you're trying so much to take wickets, and Arlene Kelly's done just that. That's exactly the length to be bowling, pegging back that off stump, and takes the first wicket for Ireland. And Tasman Brits goes bright and breezy 15 for her, but the first wicket goes down, and Arlene Kelly's the one to take it.
That's a good piece of bowling, that she kind of caught Brits in two minds. And really, she, in the end, probably played down the wrong line there. She's very disappointed with herself, but she's made a significant contribution for her team. Under 15 off 10, you'll take that anywhere in a T20 match, particularly up front, because it's taken a bit of the life out of Ireland. But we're going to see it here now. Looked to me to be a very good piece of bowling from Kelly. Did a bit, really. It just possibly came back a little bit in 10 metres. And that could be out. Go! Oh, and it's been dropped. never really got herself into a comfortable catching to try and do something that's going to aid your performance.
That's a brilliant shot from Lara Goodall, though. Another boundary for her. She's putting down a marker this afternoon, and they've done so very well so far. And that little misfield off the bowling of Maguire is going to allow another boundary.
Beautiful player. Boulevard.
Sliced in the air, Leah Pole coming under it and just over her head. Really difficult chance, that one. Just was always going away from her. But probably gone for 2 or 3 wide, so you never know in cricket. Sometimes poor deliveries can get wickets, but that poor delivery is going to go the distance. That's 4, and Annika Bosch didn't make the mistake that the Irish are going to keep them on, rather than just going exactly how it was scripted. Lifted, and it's going to go over mid-on again. This time just gets enough. It skips away from Sophie McMahon. Well, I think we've made our case for her on here anyway. Better from Leah Pole, but beautifully played by Bosch. Really have to get it full to Annika. Bosch loves it on the back foot.
Well, often you're just better with one spare.
Down the leg side, helped on its way by Lara Goodall, and Celeste Rack won't be able to cut that one off.
Trying to maybe take a couple of wickets here right at the end. Goodall goes for an ambitious reverse. Gets an awful lot on it, though. Goes away for 4.
Yeah, a really good return for her after a duck on day 1, and 2 short down leg side, helped around the corner from Goodall, and that brings up her half century. No easier way to do it, does it with style, and brings up the 100 for South Africa as well. They're on 101 for 1. Lara Goodall 52 from 38 not out. It's been a really good innings from the opening bat.
Yeah, super innings. 7 4s and 1 6 in there. It's shown good variety. Around the ground.
And that's the wicket she was looking for, Jane Maguire. Completely foxed Goodall with the slower, very slower delivery that almost yorked Goodall and the second bounce. And you can hear how popular she is around the ground in Pembroke, all along the wall. They're having a good time anyway. A few burnt faces in the sun. Goodall has played a magnificent innings for South Africa. 52 from 40 deliveries.
Yeah, very good innings from Lara Goodall. She'll be disappointed not to have seen her side through. It was a leg cutter from Jane Maguire seemingly, and it's, as you say, kept so low on Goodall. It's crept through. First international T20 wicket for Jane Maguire, and as you say,
dances down and straight down the ground. Beautifully played from Annika Bosch. Finishes it in 1 shot. At the end of the 15th over, South Africa take the win in Game 2 of the HBV Studios International Women's Series.
Yeah, very comprehensive victory for South Africa. A very good performance from them to go bring back this series to 1 apiece. They were always on top from the starting couple of overs, starting from Shabnam Ismail with the ball. They had plenty of success in those middle overs as well. They kind of stifled the Irish innings at a crucial stage, and unfortunately, as we suspected, 106 was just never going to be enough.
Well, the good news for Ireland is it took them 15 overs to get to 107, and you feel like if they had even 20 or 30 more runs, 17 from 3.
If you probably reflect through the match summary as well, they possibly could have taken a few more South African wickets. There was definite chances in the outfield that weren't taken, and for Ireland really to have a chance, they had to really take some catches in the deep. But it's a thoroughly deserved victory for South Africa today, chasing 106, won very comfortably in 15 overs by 8 wickets. It was a resounding victory for them.
Yeah, good bounce back from South Africa after losing the first match in this HBV Studios